If you want to continue to support PPL, na continue to give him susu longem, na baby food longem, na lugaw timem. We've got to be strict about who is going to be in charge of that. And that person, or those individuals, need to have very strict performance criteria attached to them. The other thing I did not see in this report was that there is no identification of what are the major loss areas that result in PPL coming to this point where it owes 900 million to its creditors. Is someone going to identify where the major loss-making areas are? And is it pertinent for this house to know? You may need lo sabe. One M Sunday straight making only losing money to the point where they now owe 900 odd million to their creditors. And then on top of that, do we have a risk management strategy for PPL going forward? Most importantly for the country, energy is not a simple thing that we can mess around with, as we can see now. Businesses are suffering, ordinary people are suffering. We are not expanding the grid. So what risk management strategy are we putting in place to ensure that the country does not arrive at another point in the future where we suffer the same consequences, because this is still a monopoly. We will still be at the mercy of PNG power. So samosoli wo krangi, mibla ba still kisimpen yet. So I'd like to see that risk management strategy that guarantees the leaders of this country sitting in this house, but also that guarantees the people of Papua New Guinea that Yumi can solve this problem once and for all. Now, if we cannot, then there's a fallback position that the government will adopt. And finally, once the good minister is ready and all the hardworking people from Kumul Holdings get to work on PNG power, I would like to request that the good minister come back to this house and present to the honorable members what the turnaround strategy looks like, so that Yumi Olgada can appreciate him. Now Yumi Olgada can look sabe so that we can hold the management and the board of PPL accountable. Thank you very much.
The Honorable Governor for NCD.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Give me a chance to contribute to this debate. From the outset, I'd like to thank you, long Minister. You may put in plenty pressure on him, and it's appropriate now. Deserving that you may put in pressure on Minister, because you may already feel him the pain long failure of PPL, PNG power. They have not performed well, and the report here confirms it. Now you may step one last stage where what are we going to do? You mean by trusting Minister and trust the process that is going on? Or you mean by suggest the Minister for other option? And I want to say from the outset that we should be open to other option. Because Mr. Speaker, I think, bottom line, this right, you can ask him, you may yet. Suppose you all get a you like investing money, you may all member ya. Would you honestly, personal money, would you want to put your money in PNG power? With this current condition, long. And if you honestly know that your money going in, personal money account yet, you're going to invest in this company, that it will not bring you any return. If I was a banker, I wouldn't put my money in PNG power right now, because I know that by no return long. We know that confidence was by all steps that we are taking, and PNG power in its current condition will be able to recover. Minister, there's no doubt you are trying your best. You are doing what you can. You're trying to drive the board and the management. Now you're coming up with all this structural change over 6 months, so that we ask, Mr. Speaker, 15 years time, maybe there will be a recovery time. Mr. Speaker and honorable members, I don't think we have 15 years. We can't wait for 15 years. Power is essential. Energy is essential to just basic life, and then to business, and then to the economy. You will get us away. Here in Port Moresby, Mr. Speaker, I have to speak on behalf of our people, my constituent here in Port Moresby. People are going to come up, power company. Yeah? All the corporates, they have to buy their own generators. Instead of doing their core business, they have to operate their own generator, backup generator. They have to buy fuel. And who pays the cost? They're passing the cost to everyone. The economy cannot function. No investor will come here and set up a manufacturing company if the power is not reliable. And now we are into digital age. All these IT company, they wouldn't dare come to PNG because power is unreliable. But I see, Mr. Speaker, that we are doing the same thing. And Governor Yumi Lo speak him talk here. When there is a problem, you may find him money now, you may put him inside. And we just get public funds and put it in to try to solve this problem. Because that's the easy way out. Well, public by no you make some money now. So now we are going into this 1.75 billion to spend over 15 years with a hope that PNG power is going to turn around. Mr. Speaker, me agree with them, Governor Bloy speak. We need radical surgery, or otherwise, let's bite the bullet. Make a critical strategic decision. Mr. Speaker, if you need to fire sale PNG power, let's fire sale it now. Governor Bloy speak him talk, you mean radical surgery. Me think also, we are at a stage where we have to think about a fire sale. Something got some value we stop yet. You mean Salim, we make strategic decisions, Salim, so that we can start to have a real recovery about PNG-BC. And look at the turnaround now. BSP, you can complain, but BSP, I mean, underpinning economy and stuff. It's everywhere in PNG. It's going to the Pacific. Now it might go to Asia. Because we made, and the government at the time made a very decisive, critical decision. PNG-BC now, if we do not act, maybe and by go nothing. We'll lose all the saving law people, believe me, all the investment law government. It's better we don't put public funds into it, we just sell it in whatever state it's up. And through value, right value, under value, at least you mix in some money back. And then government can buy, retaining some shares. Mr. Speaker, this is what we did with PNG-BC. Now it's a thriving company. Of course, you can complain, you may got right to complain. But we must be happy that government at the time made a decisive decision. Now we are at the stage where about PNG power. But you may go ahead and get this, spend this 1.75 billion over 15 years. When I'm guarantee, me must be not busy PNG power working profit or not, but at least I'm giving service. But we cannot even have service. If they make ends meet, like recover all the expense, and by your right too, but we got a big debt. We got a big debt. You need another 1.75 billion you want up, another big blood debt too. What's the guarantee by 15 years by come around? Otherwise, we bite the bullet and do a fire sale, whatever the values. We bite the bullet and make a decision that can give us a better outcome for tomorrow instead of same thing. It's early days. Maybe it won't deteriorate anymore. You may walk in fire sale if you have to.
Honorable Abao, MP from Abao.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and to appreciate and commend the Honourable Minister for this very truthful statement that the Minister has given on this entity that all of us have been complaining about for a long, long time. Particularly on my strong belief that governments have proven that we are not good in managing business. When we interfere, businesses never make profit and never expand. Since 2002, when I stood, I've been visiting all the CEOs of the PNG Power, ELCOM, PPL. Mr. Speaker, shamefully, when we hosted a meeting of central leaders, the Minister for International Trade came and spoke to us, and he blasted us and saying this power is so close, why haven't you fought for it to come to as far as Kairuku Hiri then, and then as far as Abao? He blasted us. Today in the debate, on behalf of the people of Abao, when people are complaining of frequent blackouts in cities, we have been in blackout forever. And nobody seems to be thinking about us for those who have not yet accessed power. But our people, Abao and others that have not yet been connected, have been blacked out way before independence and are still there. And therefore, Honorable Speaker, on behalf of the people of Abao, the Honorable Governor for East Sepik spoke the medical language, which is my TEF. But I want to speak his TEF, which is a contractor. We don't need to rehabilitate the building, do a maintenance. No, we have to build a new house. Demolish it. Change it altogether. Government, arm's length. Maybe, I'm thinking, maybe put it through IPO, initial public offering, nest fund, provincial governments, private sector. They will then bid and see where the interest is. Rather than waiting for 15 years. I've been waiting for 20 years. I won't be on the floor of Parliament for 15 years. I want my people of Abao to have power today. We've been missing power. And so, like the private companies that are buying generators and solars, we've been living a very expensive life just to have one switch on for light. Optimizing people and culture. What kind of optimization they need? Financial management. Financial management, nuclear something? To strengthen it? Business recapitalization? Yeah, I agree. We need more injection, but government has too many priorities. And therefore, in this instance, I think, Minister, we should look at the other serious options rather than follow these 8 steps for the next 15 years. And so, Honorable Speaker, providing electricity, we're not going to create new technology to do it. No, Katya. Hydro systems is proven. Solar systems is up. All the IPPs are hydro and our gas is there. It's not new technology, so you go and find out which technology is good to expand the power to the rest of the country. No, God, same technology is up here. Honorable Speaker, that's my honest opinion. Government has proven no good in running businesses. Private sector out there, I think they have the business acumen, the capability, management and financial capability to participate. Why don't we give them a chance? Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Governor Blonga, what's the Britain?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you. Mr. Speaker, I've been a minister for this particular SOE for almost like 2 years. I thought you by Luk Shavelomina by giving me opportunity. Thank you. Mr. Speaker, one thing we fail to understand also, that we keep saying that we want the entire nation to be connected. We want the grids to be extended. At what cost? Usad by funding this extension of this grid and all those things. PNG Power as a power generating company and, giving power, then it is possible. But to connect the entire country, that is not possible, and we need billions and billions of kina. We all the time talk about some community projects connecting to rural areas and all those things. Who will be funding it? In any commercial business, if PNG Power is a private company, will that private company, fund all those rural areas if there is no, commercial point of view that they can generate income? And you have to invest like one grid, like starting from New Power coming to Garagu or into Port Moresby, it costs like almost like 30 million kina or 40 million kina just to transport power. Then there is also inconsistency, projects which we do some kind of knee-jerk investments where you have like much more bigger power to transport, with New Power producing almost 54 megawatt. Drio produces another 45 megawatt. Now you got Nupla Hydro, which me are mollied by building separate power lines, because the power lines now you got Eminonaplo Karim load also 50 megawatt. It can carry maximum of 20 megawatt or 25 megawatt. So M2 one a big challenge. So we need to take into account the cost of community projects expected from every respective SOEs, whereby they cannot really make any profit or money. And then we keep expecting them to declare profit. For me, more than profit, the extent of service we can give it to our people, that opposition leader correctly said, when are we going to connect the entire country by grid? And also we have the geographical challenge whereby plenty of you to stop low island, remote areas where hard low you by, unless you got also Europe technology where you can pull him power line underneath the Sita Sol, you can connect him all got remote islands na this. And another one challenge, Mr. Speaker, I'm thankful that Minister has mentioned about the ADB policy-based loan. Mr. Speaker, I'm thankful me people are negotiating this policy-based loan. It's purely on a very, very minor reforms. Also I'm all dictating me play to talk about this reforms where start with like merit-based appointment. For me, if you give importance to that merit-based appointment, which I'm sure currently it's right now it's happening, then 50% of the problems can be solved purely on merit-based appointment, and then appointing female director in each board. Being transparent, publishing our accounts report and all those things. So these are basic things for any businesses to do. And that's what we agreed. And NDB has approved $500 million and Minister have clearly stated in his statement that so far 860 million received in Kina in 2021 and another 850 million received in December 2022. That is almost 1.7 billion Kina. To give budget support based on these policy reforms. And I'm thankful that government finally has helped KCH, part of this money to help some of these entities like PNG Power, Air Niugini, which are, financially suffering. One thing also we need to notice, Mr. Speaker, is that many times we blame all the SOEs. I want to look at it differently that, government being a major customer to all those SOEs, be it water, be it electricity, be it telecommunication. You know how much government was as we speak right now, at this time? Government was PNG Power 46 million Kina. Then how you buy expecting more low? Go na buying bills low, Puma na kisim diesel na buying diesel na supply low. Province. Province people suffer no good through. Governor ECP can talk okay. Province sample time 2 weeks continuously no power. Even lo Kimbe people giving power to solo residents na hospital to solo. Lo halfway me sleep yet. People are also buying 300 liters diesel. Lo every 2 days once. Every 2 days once people are burning 300 liters. Na tu this la agony, this anxiety of arim sound blow generator na yuba provide no good through. Time generator cut off. Em all gata tenant to buy suffer, you to buy suffer, business buy suffer. You know na ploy pasim store na all gata this la something. Yeah? Provinces are the most suffering. One plus suggestion to me like to talk and Prime Minister to supporting this la thing. Why not PNG Power focus on this la profitable grid, where port must be grid, a Ramu grid, a Gessel grid. This la triple a major grid where MSA making profit lo PNG Power. Now you rouse him sampla unprofitable, operations. Also Kimbe, KVN, Vivek, Daru, all this la happier and PNG Power makes loss. Meaning PNG Power by hard to bring in fuel come inside of these locations. Now cost of producing power is almost like 1 Kina 20 Toya. And they are forced to sell it for 80 Toya, 90 Toya. Mr. Speaker, in the last 10 years, you may not allow in PNG Power for political reason, you may pour it no good also. Suppose you may up in price all public by crores na this laya. But the public also need to know what is the real cost of production of power or generation of power. That it's costing 1 Kina 20 Toya and your PNG Power is expected to sell it for 80 Toya and 90 Toya. Then how do you expect that organization to make profit? Obviously, whatever the profit they make, they have to cover the losses from these loss-making centers outside. So, me suggestion to me also, why not you cut him up this loss-making operations? Yeah? Now, give him respective provincial government in partnership with, proper, for example, Kimbe, okay, you may partner on New Britain Palm Oil. Now, you may running this operation also in profit. It's a loss-making operation anyway. So why you like holding this loss-making operations, causing heavy low, the company where it has the potential to generate, huge income and also continue to do the service. So, me looking now you got political will. Minister making some strong statement. Now, suggesting this 8 point or 10 point key reforms, key areas where suppose through you may implementing. Then there is hope. You may no need panic or you may no need fire sale. Mr. Speaker, fire sale is the easiest option. You can work in also how you may shall I give up PNGBC now. Of course, it makes a big difference when you have a private company running an organization. So one suggestion posed by opposition leader to talk public-private partnership for this organization where NASFund can involve, provincial governments can involve, so that this organization also can be revived, and also it gives the additional support from the expertise from these respective organizations who has been running businesses rather than the government continue to run this one as a 100% government entity. The cost of production for PNG Power in many sense through diesel, it costs more than 1 Kina. Even the supposed to be the low cost power, they talk about gas, they talk about hydro, they talk about other solar and other options. Solar got no major commercial ones. I think some misunderstanding this 15 years all meaning 15 years and by taking reform that the great upgrade program, because now me looking got issue power generation must be great. People got plenty power stuff. People got new power, people got Dirio, people got Edevu, and most of these ones are much better power than the diesel source. The issue of these 15 years is like mostly on the grid upgrade, like upgrading Mosby grid, upgrading that Ramu grid, upgrading that Gessel grid, which I believe the minister has already, embarked into implementing those upgrading of that major grids. That is the main reason, especially in these all major 3 grids, for the continuous fluctuation of power, and also the blackout issue is all caused by this lack of upgrade to all this very, very old infrastructure. Not 15 years, but within the next 2 or 3 years, I feel that major upgrades can be done for these 3 major grids. The main point, Mr. Speaker, is to allow to focus PNG Power on the profitable organizations, and also for the government. I'm talking about 46 million government owes to PNG Power. At any point of time, government owes like at least 200 to 300 million kina. We need to also meet our commitments. We need to honor our commitments, and there is no point of talking about fire sale, which is not going to make any good thing for this organization. But right now we have that political will to turn around this company. It has been a challenging company. It's the 3 companies which are like most challenging in SOEs. Are like number 1 is like PNG Power, number 2 is like Air Niugini. Number 3 is like telecom in terms of its operational difficulties. I appreciate the minister's determination to bring much needed changes for this energy company, national energy company, and I wish him all the best. And we hope to see some positive changes in this organization. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.